phone.
All right, lit. I'll send you guys the YouTube. And we're officially live for the interwebs to see us. Alex, you're famous.
Dope, man.
Smile.
I think the right person at the right time is going to click.
Let's see. Copy.
I'll send you.
Share copy link.
But do you title it or something? Do you like clickbait people?
Not this one. Just because I usually I would, but I spent too much time setting it up. If that makes sense.
Totally. So someone in the world can research this video right now.
We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch simultaneously. So anyone following me, anyone that hops in like the just chatting category or just happens to stumble upon it on like Facebook and stuff, can see us three talking right now.
And what about the YouTube? You mentioned YouTube. How does that operate?
Same thing. So you just hit go, basically like go live, whatever, and it's just posted on there by default.
But what I'm saying is, if I were to jump on YouTube right now, is it under just the live channel, or is there a title associated to this? Like,
yeah. So this one, I believe I titled it "Talking Business." Yeah, "Talking Business." That was the title for it. Just grab and go. Usually, I would spend more time like setting it up and like coming up with a better like, what's the word? Like title, clickbaity for sure. But yeah, dude, setting it up. I thought everything was set up. It should have been. Which threw me off.
Dude, that's
okay.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
It's just cool that we're even hanging out.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for putting this together for us too, Mateo. This has been like, so you guys know, I've been looking forward to this most all day.
Yeah?
Like I definitely have. Oh, 100%. I mean, mind you, your competition was chemistry lab or anatomy and physiology lab. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but this is like the highlight of my day.
Lit.
Totally.
No, seriously.
Yeah, honestly, like I just love you guys, and it's gonna be really fun just to talk business, you know.
Straight to business.
I'm open for the discussion, and I love you guys, and I'm grateful for the time that we get to spend, and whatever conversation is to come, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Sorry if I'm a little tired. I got off work and I just kind of munched on a sandwich and then shot over to this.
Dude, no problem. I feel like we're all tired. Dude, yesterday, I honestly thought I was going to be able to wake up at 3 a.m. this morning. And then I did it for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, nope, not going to happen. I laid back down.
Dang. When do you think we'll get to the point, and I say we because I that's like my biggest struggle as well, is staying awake. Like the moment I get up, it's hard to just be like, all right, I'm getting up. So when do you think you'll get to the point to where it doesn't matter how tired you are, you're gonna just stay up? What do you think you have to do to get there? Like no matter how late you stayed here last night.
It's all motivation and incentive at that point, you know, because it's like this morning I wanted to be up, I wanted to stay awake, but literally it was just like my physical there's physical boundaries. Like if you wanted to hustle, if you wanted to stay up and just hustle 3 days straight, like cool, but you have to have a big why. Like there has to be like some type of challenge or like big like a why for it, you know. Like it's like, okay, right, if you stay up and you hustle for the next 72 hours, you're gonna win $1 million. You're gonna stay up those 3 days, you know. So it's all about incentive, but my incentive this morning was to do 8 pieces of homework. So it's like I mean I should have, but at the end of the day it's like 8 pieces of homework are $1 million.
Do you think that's the incentive, or do you think the end result of completing those 8 pieces of homework to the best of your ability is the greater incentive?
It's just, I mean, because there's no rush to it. So the incentive isn't that big. Like I'm getting ahead on homework that's like due in a week. You know, like I don't have to do the homework today, but it's like at the same time, it's like, do I want to prioritize rest or do I want to prioritize doing these assignments? And it's like, I'm going to be dead all day. Today's my day off. Might as well like spend it resting, you know, like I don't need to do it. I'm choosing to get ahead, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
Would you say that incentive is synonymous with motivation?
Loosely. Yeah. I would say I think the bigger and more important like word at hand would be why. The why, you know, like why is it that you're doing what you're doing? So to some extent, yeah, motivation. But like you can.
I like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when you said like your incentive wasn't here and you were essentially referring to your why, so you would say you switch your why up daily based on tasks?
I mean, a why can be anything. Oh, you can have a long-term why, you can have a small-term why, you can have your like hourly why, you know, like why am I going to go to the gym today? Why do I keep going to the gym? You know, it's like, who am I doing this for? Those are all different reasons to do like a why, but a why definitely is a determining factor to like just do anything.
And so just asking you have many whys?
The more whys, the better. More incentive, more motivation to be like, oh, like today I like didn't feel like waking up, but it's like, dang, I really want to like, I want to get my mom those concert tickets, you know. So it's like that's a why. Like I need to up, and that's why I guess that's another point. It's like me getting ahead on my homework frees up these 4 days for me to where I can grind, where I can put in that work, you know.
Totally, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean.
Have you come across the why idea?
Have I?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex introduced me to the why idea.
All right, for sure.
But I like the way Mateo says it in this context because it doesn't make it such a broad, like, big, overarching thing. Because you can have a why that's like, my why is like, I want to be a doctor, you know? Boom. That's a big why, though. And that's like a future why that I have to do a lot of, like, daily things to get there. And sometimes that big why can't really help me out in those daily things, you know, like, because I could put it off or it's just maybe not like hitting that day. And so I like that you said that your why could be anything, like it could be multiple things. It could just be a daily thing. Like, well, today my why is like, I want to get ahead. Today my why is I want to be on point because I love just being on point.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to get these 8 things done so that I can just be on point. And I love that feeling, or I love the way that like it frees me up the next day or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
And then in the back of your mind, you still have that why that's bigger of I want to have my own business or I want to buy those concert tickets, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I could also see it benefiting you in a way that you're just not forgetting the tasks of the day, you know? Like, kind of like Tyler said, if sometimes you do have a pretty broad why or reasoning to do things, you forget about the things that you have to do right then and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get up because you want to be a doctor. You got up because you have 8 assignments that you want to knock out to have that time allotted. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I definitely really appreciate that outlook on it. And yeah, I've always personally just thought about it as not necessarily the one thing, but it is like, what's your why? And I would say not like specifically my why, but it's also being a doctor. But however, when I look at it, I look at being a doctor so much more than being a doctor, right? So a doctor is a leader. A doctor is one who manages a lot of people, one who relates to so many different people, one who has to bring the people together, and one that has to translate information that may be completely unknown to a certain type of person, right?
Yeah.
And so when I wake up in the morning, I think, okay, is this going to benefit me being a doctor? Well, it depends how I look at it. Because when I wake up after just a rough night or a long day the day before, I still wake up and I think, man, one day I'm going to be on call. One day, like, thank goodness I'm waking up right now, because one day it's really going to matter to where I can't go back to sleep. And so I wake up, boom. Then it's like, okay, why am I going to be motivated at work? Why am I going to be, because, you know, one day I'm actually going to lead people and have to bring people together that are not going to want to be led and are not going to want to work together. Oh, okay. So no matter how tired I am, no matter like how drained I am emotionally, I got up because one day I'll be on call. I made it to work and had the best attitude because one day I'm going to lead a group of people that don't want to be led, and I need to bring them together. So I would always like go back to my number one why, the big why, but it's broad, I know the specifics that I have to fill in to that broad why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the opportunity meets preparation thing. So it's like, you know, down the line, but in order to be in that position, you have to be prepared. So it's like the whole waking up thing. It's like, if you're on call, like, you have to be able to like get yourself up and going. Because if you're not conditioned or ready to do stuff like that, like, just becoming a doctor is not going to be like easy. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, okay, I'm a doctor now, I guess I could go on call. Like, these are to some extent soft skills you to develop on your own in order to be on call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those are the days that you might be super tired, but knowing that you've done it like consistently for the past few years, when those days come, it's no big deal. It has been. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
The 24-hour shift for me is no big deal. You know,
because that's the baseline. That's what you've already been doing.
Yeah.
So it's like other people are sweating because they have a 24-hour call, but your baseline is already there. So you're like, it's just another day.
But you guys both can do that. You guys can both work a 24-hour shift, right?
Yeah, I definitely can. I can.
Yeah.
I can't.
For sure.
I'm not conditioned for that. You know, like, I need sleep. You know, like, I operate on 6 hours of sleep, you know? Push comes to shove, like, I eventually could, but given the conditioning I have now, it's not something I could do. Not consistently.
Yeah. But you definitely could build up to that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anyone really could, you know? It's just like consistency, and it suits what you guys are doing, you know? It's like what you guys have to do.
And the thing is you could do it right now. It would probably feel unhealthy, but you could do it. The difference is what you have to understand is we're in a hospital, and so we're often busy during even the like latest of hours. So we're still moving. Our blood is still flowing. You know, we're still taking in all this oxygen and XYZ and eating at the same time. So a lot of it is just the environment that we're in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it does get hard when you're completely by yourself in an office and you're just like, I'm still going to stay up. You know, that's what I feel like. That's where like the motivation is lost and the motivation becomes discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because motivation is so temporary. Like, you woke up this morning and you're like, man, I'm motivated. Then boom, like the fatigue kicked in and you were like unmotivated, like ready to go back. And it was just so temporary. Like, even if you would have thought about your why, it's so temporary. Dude, sometimes I'm like, why would I even have this why? It sucks. Like, I don't want to be like putting others before all the time. But because I'm so disciplined, I don't even have to look at it like that. Like, I don't even need motivation. You know what I mean? As crazy as it sounds, dude, it just becomes who you are. It's just the discipline behind it at that point, you know?
Yeah, dude, motivation has little to like no weight. Like, I think for like beginners to like, it's hard because I want to say it's probably like around those teenager years when people are like, oh, well, I actually have control over my life or something, you know, and they get excited, motivation kicks in. It's like, oh, I actually can do something. But ultimately, it's all discipline. Like, discipline's the only thing for long-term success, because motivation can drag you a couple hours at most, you know, but to get like results, you need the discipline.
I will say that motivation does make it a little more fun at times, you know?
Yes.
And so motivation is still important. If you can motivate yourself and you know that certain things, like say like you wake up in the morning, you have a routine that gets you in the right headspace, that you read something like, you know, out of the Bible, or say that you like have a certain Instagram page that you look for inspiration for weightlifting, Mateo, like, you know those things that motivate you. And if you continually like go to them because you know that they will motivate you, that can just make it more fun.
Yeah.
But you can't let that be your source of your why, you know?
No, and I do. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's days when I do cardio in the morning and I don't feel like it. I know Muhammad Ali's speech by memory, bro. His whole
There you go.
yeah, you know, like it's like I just know the spiel because I've watched the video so many times where I'm like, no, I need the Muhammad Ali motivation, you know. So I'll sit back and watch it.
Yes.
Baki's always running in the background, you know. So it's like I always have that motivation, but like you said, it makes it fun. I don't need it. I don't like do it, but like I'll be mid work and I'll see Baki fighting like a tiger or a lion or something. I'm like, all right, I need to work harder, you know?
Yeah. No, and again, I'm saying like we get to the point to where we're disciplined, but you know, sometimes discipline takes us to a dark place. You know, sometimes like the chip on your shoulder comes back and you're doing it because you're disciplined, but now there's like another energy driving that discipline, you know, because you just have to do it. You don't want to do it, but you just have to, you know? And so I definitely agree with you, Tyler, on like, you may not need it, but sometimes it is uplifting. Sometimes it is, you know, a reminder of why you're doing what you want to do, right? Because, yeah, sometimes discipline does take over and you're like a robot and like, I work this amount, I do this amount, you know? And so I definitely agree with you. And it also comes down to what you are watching and putting in at every single moment in your day. You know what I mean? Like, my baseline is motivational, like speeches. Like that's just my. I have not watched anything except for like pro coaches, like tennis coaches, basketball coaches, and just speakers that are known for basketball, like for motivational speakers. Like that's all I watch.
You're playing tennis right now, right? That's like your thing. You're playing tennis right now. That's like your thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like a guy, my tennis coach, dude. That guy's.
You have a coach?
Man, I have a coach.
Oh, you're deep into it, bro. I didn't know that.
It's the real deal.
Huh.
Yeah, no, bro. I'm just fortunate, you know. I have a coach, and he's an excellent guy. And to be honest, I just don't like to play sports if I'm not going to compete, you know. So I'm going to play in tournaments and stuff, and that's kind of like a blessing and a curse. Like I'm competitive, but it sucks that I don't have like the desire to just play for fun.
Yeah.
But it is awesome to be surrounded by the people who too want to be on a mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason why I started training with this guy was just because he was just so detailed. He was so detailed about tennis and expressed tennis like on another level to me that I was just like, I don't even like tennis, but I love how detailed this guy is. He's gonna teach me so much more than just tennis, and he has been, man. He's literally like a Mr. Miyagi for me, and it's just been the best of times. And yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how we can relate sports to life because we're on a mission. Like we're on a mission. We have an end goal, and that could be your why. And we have competition. But even in sports, we're not here to focus on the competition. We're here to just focus on simply how better we can be as an individual, as a team, as a leader, as a follower, as a friend, as a son or daughter, whatever it is. Those are the winners. You know what I mean? There was an infamous picture of Michael Phelps just like swimming straight, and his competition, who came in second place, was looking at Michael Phelps, right? Like was glancing at him. Everybody's so busy looking at everybody else that we're getting nothing done. You know what I mean? It's a sticky situation and it sucks, but we got to just focus, man. And he wasn't telling me about any player. He was telling me about the details that he loves to see in tennis. In tennis.
Yeah.
And so he corrects me, and I just look after me, and I just think about how I can get better, not what other people do to get better. Like that's you enjoying your journey, you know, not you trying to follow someone else's journey.
And the whole gym thing, bro, because there's like levels to it. There's like the gym newbie, and then there's like the gym rats, and then there's like the people who compete and stuff. And that's a lot of advice that I give to people who are like who have plateaued. Like they look good, but it's like kind of gotten boring for them, you know? It's like you should compete. You should jump in some type of tournament, whether it's like aesthetics or like a marathon or like some powerlifting type of thing. Just like train for something. You don't have to win, but do it with the intention of like, I mean, of course, go in trying to win, but it gives you a direction to where you can push yourself to that next level. You're not just stuck going into the gym and repping things out every now and then, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like, that's super important. And dude, and on the Michael Phelps thing, there's theories that say, I know exactly what you're talking about, but there's theories that say that he is just breathing. Like the picture's taken is where like it looks like it's looking at him, but some people speculate that he's breathing. So,
yeah. No, and I totally get that. But I just knew if I threw an example like that, it would ring a bell. Like it was one of the most popular pictures, you know, and the goal wasn't. The goal is just, you know, to paint a picture, and I often find myself or other people that like ask me about things, and what we're really just doing is looking at others,
Yeah.
and everything around us is pointing at others. And so we're so often missing the opportunity for us to take in that information and process our own information rather than just, use a preset protocol to whatever happens in our life.
How often do you catch yourself comparing yourself to others?
To be honest, not too often.
Mm-hmm.
Like not too often. I have. I'm normal. I'm human. But it came a little bit with the discipline as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the discipline of not having Instagram. And then when you don't have Instagram, you get to process why you need Instagram. And the truth is you don't. You simply don't. But if you're not giving your time to even think about that, you'll stay on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we are the most depressed and anxious generation that's been, right? That has been around. But we so often are so distracted by the things around us that we never even learn how to control our emotions or learn what it feels like to be in that in that emotion.
Are you off of Instagram right now?
I am off currently right now. Yes.
Is it temporary, or you're done with it?
It'll probably be temporary. I do temporary breaks because I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like entertainment as well. I like the people I follow. I like to keep up with you guys. But at the end of the day, if I needed to get a hold of you guys, I'll text you.
Yeah.
Or I'll call you. And again, it goes back to the distraction. I don't want to be distracted. Like what I was saying about people being emotional and not knowing how to deal with their emotions, it's because we're distracted. Like you get sad, and the first thing you do is like go on TikTok or go on Instagram and like get cheerful, and people send more memes than they do actual conversations. Like it's insane. And so we don't allow ourselves to go through these processes that life is trying to have us learn and grow from. We're just like scrolling on to the next thing or watching the next video that's going to make us feel better, or like it's our comfort zone. We have videos that we go to when we're feeling down. We have like things that we go to when we're feeling down, or influencers that we go to when we're feeling down, and to me it's we're missing out on like some of the best opportunities, and it's really just like how to deal with what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And how to take in the situation, because it could be a good situation and you don't know how to take it in and reciprocate it because you're just so quick to just jump on Instagram and completely change your thought process and your willingness to take something in,
Yeah.
Yeah, my thing for social media comes down to either you're a consumer or a producer. So it's either or. You're not on, there's no gray zone. It really comes down to you're either consuming content or you're creating content. And that's, it kind of like for you, Alex, you need to talk. Like you're a person who like needs to be out compared to like these influencers doing pranks and stuff. Like your voice needs to be heard. So it's like in today's day and age, like it's like you can't. Okay, cool. I get it. I get that. Like you want to like, and I've done it too, where I just hop off of Instagram and just because to some extent it's toxic, but at the same time it's like. In today's day and age, it's almost as if like the person who you are, it's to some extent like your responsibility to hop in and like talk, put your voice out, because that's the era and like time we live in, like we live in this digital era regardless of like what people think. It's just like it's our reality, it's our present, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, and bro, that's why I'm here, Mateo. I've never even heard of Discord, and here I am.
Yeah.
Because you have the biggest point. However, if we were to compare a field worker and let's say an influencer, right? An influencer and a field worker. Well, a field worker, they know how to come up with solutions to whatever discussions, disagreements, or interactions they may have. They know how to have business and run a business. and they know how to be approached, and most importantly, approach people, right? And so a lot of those social skills and things that we were once doing in the work life, we're missing out on. Because now we can preset things and pre-record things, and if it's not perfect, then we don't post it. But now we have more control of what we're posting and less control of like how people are reacting to it. And then the dialogue of like the disagreement doesn't happen to the best ways, because we're behind the screen and we're just exclamation and like everything's cap locks, and like you're just screaming, and you never get to get the dialogue out and really have a conversation that's on a healthy level that's going to benefit and produce in our world. You know what I mean? Like we do miss out on a lot of goodness. And if we look at how history has happened, a brand was going to be known whether that person was on Instagram or not. That's how powerful networking and people and just communication and specifically the brand is. That's how powerful the brand is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bill Gates, still known. Elon Musk, still known. Are they on 24/7? They're not. Do they have people running their things? Yes, because they're so smart that they know the social media is the new chapter of things. However, bro, they're so focused on their craft, they have no idea what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But their brand is all over the world. So no matter how active we may be on Instagram, if we're developing a brand or a company, if we're not putting money into the company and most importantly, time into the company, it may not do as well as we hope it's going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so right now I have to focus on my company and the building of it, and not so much my social media just yet. Because I have no.
But business
right?
is social media today. Everything's social media. Like I can't tell you how I'm trying to jump into doing graphic design like heavy. And the 3 gigs I've gotten in the past 2 weeks are all, I wasn't even trying to market myself. I just share my work and people would come out to me. They'd reach out to me, networking to some extent. You know, it's like networking to some extent, like we can, obviously face to face is better because you get that initial like handshake, you know, like you can talk to people, but I can't tell you how many people I've met on Discord where it's just chatting like this. You know, like this is like we know each other and we're just meeting in this digital space, but there's a number of Discords you can just hop in with, just chatting with random people, and it gives you the same opportunity to where it's like it's the same interaction. So instead of having to go, it's like, I wonder if I'm going to go to Panera or Starbucks today, and I hope there's someone I can talk to. I can jump into any of these channels right now and talk to 20, 30 people at a time. You know, it's like networking's dude. Then that's what I'm saying is the upside of technology and like the digital era is like now we can network from the comfort of our own home. Like that's there, you know?
Right. And that's what I mean. Like it just gives us more access. But hear me out. If you have unlimited wishes, but you know you have no control over yourself, how are you going to like make the best wishes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if you have unlimited access to all these people, how are you going to use all these people to the best of your abilities? And so what I'm doing right now is not necessarily using, but relating and bringing together every single one that I come across and is around me right now.
Yeah.
Because I know how they are in person, and I'm challenging myself to get out of my comfort zone and talk, because the reality is sitting behind a screen is actually easier to do. If me and you were upset at each other, it's easier to chat about it online than it was to talk one-on-one.
I disagree.
But what?
I think because it's a friendly, if we're trying to make amends.
Like, let me put it to you like this way. People on Instagram will quote or will start off with, I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be vulnerable. And share. Bro, that's the easiest thing they could have done. Type, close, walk out. You're gonna go to sleep and wake up to all these reactions, whatnot. You get to process it. No one's in front of you, nothing. If you really wanted to be vulnerable, dude, stand in front of your work and tell them how you feel. That's much harder than posting it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So much harder. And you'll actually feel it come out, process it, and have that live reaction of people right then and there. But it's the cry for attention, bro. We think we're being vulnerable, and we're really doing one of the simplest things and easiest things.
Yeah. I think a similar concept is like if you take that same thing but flip it into like the good side. So say it's like, you know, Alex's birthday. I could tell him on Instagram, hey, happy birthday, man. You know, or I could like chat with him over the screen, like, hey man, I love you, happy birthday. And that still means something for sure, you know, that still definitely goes a long way, especially when there's great distances to cover and you're not available to like be in person. But dude, how much better is it to go in person, to be with my friend Alex, give him a hug, and be like, bro, I love you, man. Happy freaking birthday. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's more meaningful. It's more like, it goes farther, you know? And people will remember that because they'll feel a more significant impact from it because it's in person, you know? Like somebody could talk smack to you on your social media, and you kind of disregard it. You're like, oh, this person's crazy, I don't know what to talk about. If somebody comes up to your face and gets in your face and starts talking smack, you're going to remember that person for probably like the rest of the year, maybe the rest of your life, depending on how severe it is. But like that could make such a bigger impact because of how it makes you feel, because you don't have that like screen to kind of separate and like you're in your own home, you know, like there's no real danger. There's no real like, I mean, there's still social faux pas that you can make on social media for sure, and there's still an embarrassment factor for sure. But at the same time, like, it's not as significant as it is in real life. And I think that's the point Alex is getting at.
I think the embarrassment factor is worse online. If someone gets a video of me looking like a clown and they post it on TikTok and it gets 1 million views, the people who are around, and when I was a clown in person, it's like there's like 5 people, but now the whole world knows. You know, it's like
and that's what I'm saying. Like, the resource is unlimited, but I guess I'm just trying to perfect and do with what I have around me first before I take it to that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've had 3 gigs with graphic design, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've had 15 encounters with real estate. You know, just within my workspace.
Yeah.
Like just work. And then they send me 2 each. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's much more. But I'm not saying that your way is less than mine and my way is better than, no, not at all. I'm saying there is unlimited resources online. Bro, like, if we can't go up to every single person in our cell phone, why do you think we have the knowledge, wisdom, or courage to just do it for everybody? Unless we're pre-recording and setting it up and kind of letting it do its thing. But we're losing that factor of like reaching out. Hey, how's it going? My name is blah, blah, blah. What do you do? Hey, that, you know, we're missing that out. We're letting the algorithm do the job for us. And we're missing out on the goodness that can be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you imagine cold calling and like door knocking? It's weird. But those are the skills that we're losing. We're losing. You know what I mean? I promise you, 80% of like the student body hates speech classes, public speaking. We hate that. But they'll go on tangents online. Because there's a factor there we are missing and we're losing. And you could see it in our customer service, dude. Anywhere, customer service is tanked. Well,
it depends. Honestly, it really depends because customer service, I mean, like Lululemon has some of the best customer service ever, bro. They're phenomenal. Like
Yeah,
I just know I'm set,
for
you know? But no, when we're talking about like little businesses where it's like definitely Gen Zers or like millennials even, where they're the ones providing customer service, it's like Spirit Airlines, you know? It is bad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna I'm gonna be like straight up, like most businesses or most places I go into where there are Gen Zs and like just very young people working, there's just like this kind of air of awkwardness, you know. At least for me personally, just being straight up, like I just don't really know how to interact with them. And that's probably on my fault, but I feel like it's just the atmosphere is just awkward because like you can tell they don't want to be there, and like it's a bummer for them to like have to interact with people a lot of the time. And that's my personal experience. And I mean, I may be wrong, but I feel like, yeah, to speak to Alex's point a little more, like I think that the social media aspect has taken away from the value of just face-to-face interaction, you know. But I am personally just more of a proponent of face-to-face interactions, and I know Alex is too, and I think that there are great things that can come from that too. But social media is so important, and in business, in any business you try to get into, social media will be crucial at some point, you know.
Yeah, and I actually really like social media, to be honest. Like, I've interacted with people I never thought I was going to interact. I've reached people that I never thought I would reach, and I understand that element of it. But like, we cannot say it hasn't taken away from our time. I guarantee you were on Instagram today, or I was on Instagram if I was any at this time this week, and we wasted some time. Not every single moment of that time on Instagram or on any social media were we producing like that whole time. I promise you, we were consuming just like all these other people, you know? And for me, yeah, my why is a little bigger, you know, like the day to day, like I gotta go talk to people. Why? Well, because I have no idea, but I need to know. I need to just challenge myself to serve the ones around me. I just need to serve the ones around me, because then I'm taking the situation in my environment for granted. Like, why am I here? Why am I at the city of Loma Linda and blah, 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 right? Well, let me go figure it out. Let me walk out. Let me interact. Let me go talk to people. Let me go serve my purpose for the time being in my life right now. You know? And we forget that, we even forget these milestones because we lived through our phone. Just like we were doing all these.
But I agree with the conversation and the narrative that face to face is better. Like, obviously, it's better. And for us, I mean, I don't know how the younger generation might feel about it, but yes, obviously, I got pulled up yesterday, and that's why I pulled up. Is because I like seeing you guys. I like face to face can't be compared. But that's the point I'm getting to, is that the two can't be compared. I forget the saying, but you can't compare the two. Right,
apples to oranges.
Apples to oranges. That's what it is. Apples to oranges. So it's like, so it's like, rather than bash social media for what it is, because it obviously has downsides, right? It's like the upsides, dude. Because I get what you're saying, where you want to go out and talk to people and like meet them face to face, but at the same time, it's like I can pick up my phone, have a little selfie video, say something to my 600 followers, and who knows who's gonna get a reaction or get some type of feeling from it. And I've seen Tyler react to my stuff. Like every now and then he'll pop in like, "Bro, that was so funny, dude," and he'll let me know. And it's not just Tyler, but I'm giving that narrative. I'm opening up that like conversation to all 600 of my people, and I don't know who's gonna jump in, because I'll post some of the randomest stuff, and I'll find out that this person likes, I don't know, like he specifically likes like golden doodles, like that's his thing. But you don't know unless you post like different random stuff to where people can be like, oh, like that's something I relate with, you know? And that conversation, like then it opens up the door to conversation. It's like, oh, now I know this person a little better. Someone I haven't talked to since like the 3rd grade, you know?
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, bro. Absolutely. And I was just sharing a little bit of why I take it on, like put it on and off, because to me, bottom line is it's just distracting. Like I'm not producing on there. I'm being distracted, and I just feel like I want to impact the little area that I'm in right now. You know, specifically that, like anything I do, any business I've interacted with, are people my age that are. I mean, if we're talking about like specifically the business I've been interacting with is real estate, right? And so I've been teaching the people my age who are not having anyone come up to them and kind of talk to them about real estate and the possibility of owning a home in their 20s, you know, or even in their 30s. You know, nowadays it's like, well, I'm not going to buy a house till I'm 50. And that's insane, you know? So I'm constantly reminded about how important that message is just to the people around me, you know. So I just really want to focus on that, and then take on more, you know.
Yeah. And Alex, like, I've seen your success from people that like we work with and from people that are mutual friends of ours. And I think that I see what you're saying about social media and how you're focusing on just being in your community, because it has been so successful for you, you know, like it really, really has. Those connections that you make by being 100% present with your people at work and your people in your circles that you see at church or to your friends or your family, they all know you so well and they trust you. And because of that, you've already done 15 transactions without even a year of real estate under your belt yet, you know, which is phenomenal. Most people in their first year do not do that. And that's spectacular. And so the thing that you're working on is definitely working. I think ideally you would try to do both, right? You would try to do social media and reach out to millions of people, whoever could see. Like Mateo was saying, you never know, like 600 followers, even just one person could be so impacted by that story of everyone thinks that they have to wait till they're 50 to buy a home. But that's so crazy, and it's not the case. Like I've had like X amount of people buying their home and they're in their 20s, and like it's a lot more than you think, and it's incredible. They're in their dream home, blah blah blah. You never know who you could reach with that, and at the same time working on your circle and being fully present with them. But it is a lot more challenging to do both. It's hard enough just to do one, you know.
Right.
Careers out of being an influencer to reach millions of people. And we don't know what their personal lives look like, but I just imagine that they're probably not great, and they're probably not as engaged with the world immediately around them, with their city, with their community, you know, with like going out on the street and just seeing what's going on.
Even our parents, you know, like we've had deeper conversations online, and our parents are like waiting to get to know us again in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do we ever think about that? You know, like, hey, I can't remember the last time I sat down with my mom and dad, or just my mom, or just my dad, or whoever's in your house, my sibling, and had just a meal and just shared a meal. Like, do I know my sibling to the best of my abilities? And if it goes back to like the way you do one thing, you're going to do it in every aspect. And so the moment I jump onto like social media and use it as a business platform or whatever I want to do with it, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, you know? Yeah. And I'm not going to use it as a shortcut, because so often people are doing much more with less, you know? I don't want to have that mentality. I want to do more with more, you know? And that's what I want to do. And so when that time does come, I still want to be interactive and do what I need to do and relate to people, and you know, but yeah, I just personally don't think that, like, I just gotta continue to work with what I have around me right now, and like be a husband, be a son, be a brother, you know, be a friend at work. That already takes up a lot of energy, you know.
It does.
And then there is the other part, like, dude, it's so beneficial and it's so good. Like, example, Lindsay, she created a platform so people in other countries, all over the world, from like people in Australia, people in Asia, people in the Middle East, all kinds of things, right? And so those people that are banned from practicing Christianity, they were able to secretly jump on Zoom and interact with other Christians, whether they're from Tennessee, whether they're from New York, whether they're from here in Cali, you know, they were able to interact. And that only came about because of Zoom and because of this social platform, you know, and they got to hear the gospel in a way they never would have imagined, and in a way they had access to, you know. So thank God for social platforms in that aspect as well, you know, and it does so much. But again, that was a church who constructed that social platform, who's been serving their community for ages. Like, I don't want to miss out on my community because I met Joe in Michigan, you know? And though Joe in Michigan needs me so much, I know that my little sister does too, you know? And so I just prioritize like my immediate circle and then the rest, you know? And I, at the same time, like, yeah, like I just need to pray about it, you know? Am I doing it for the right intentions? Am I not doing it for the right intentions? Like, what is it here? Do I really want to help the world, like, find a house, or you just want people to find you, you know? So, there's a lot of good things.
Well, you're on a split. You're on a divide because you're bringing into the conversation personal and business. You know, so it's like, dude, you can't deny the fact that.
That's the beauty of it, bro. That to me, business is personal. I would never want to put a family through me getting a commission check. I want to put a family and build a family and like let them know that this house is going to provide so much more than just a roof. This house is like just going to be so filled with love. And we already, just by owning a house, you're already like surpassing a stigma that they had, that like data and history has set like before you. Just by owning a house, you're probably going to be successful just by buying a house. And it's not going to make their life and break their life. But dude, like, I take that personal, you know, like I'm going to give my heart. I'm not here to put people in bad interest rates and bad predicaments in their financial life. I'm here to give people wisdom, love, and ultimately courage to do the same for other people. You know, that's my favorite part about socializing. And then to top it off, I get to kind of, you know, touch their shoulder, give them some love in a physical way, or just like know that they're feeling good, and I get to see their face and see them through that whole process. So Instagram will always be personal than business, because we're businessmen. And I'm not saying I'm a businessman, but if I were to say I made a sale based on my real estate skills, it'd be a lie. Every single sale I've made was based on the relationship I had with the client.
But that's what business comes down to. It's always your relationship. People only do business with people they trust. You know, it's not, dude, there's a million better real estate agents than you, and they're not doing as well as you are because people trust you. I trust you. I'm a real estate agent, and I'd hire you to do my deal.
You know what those guys do have? Real estate Instagrams. Bro.
No, all right, but you're throwing real estate. No, that's besides the point, though, because
I have no idea who you are.
No, I agree, but you have to realize that, like, if we're looking at the top producers in Los Angeles, they have their Instagram. I forget the names off the top of my head.
What do they have? They have vlogs.
Yeah. No, but you're again, it's business personal. They've made their business personal. It's just as important. You know?
Right.
No, I agree, because if you're doing the marketing stuff where you're just like, hey, I'm Joe Schmo, come buy this house with me. Of course I'm not going to do business with you. But and that's the point I'm trying to get across to you, is that your personality, the person you are, Alex, like, you need to display that online. You don't have to act. You don't need to come up with commercials. You don't need to do anything. All you got to be like, hey guys, it's Alex. I'm having a great day. I'm hoping y'all have a good day today. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. You know, just throw it down. But it's not like, hey, I'm Alex. I'm a real estate agent. Look at me sell this house. You know, it's building that rapport. It's building up that trust.
Totally. And I guess it's just me trying to produce quality work, you know? And not to say that me talking on the phone isn't quality, but I just hope to find things that attract me, you know, and it's captivating videos. And so if I could make a captivating video and like maybe a random video that they didn't expect, like, oh, whoa, like that was cool. I didn't know he did that, or I don't know that happened, or XYZ, you know? And that's just me, and that's why I jumped on this, because I was like, I just need what you were saying last night. We just need to start. And that's the hardest part. But I know myself, I could start, but maintaining that and producing quality of work is the part I want to fall in love with more.
Yeah.
You know, because the speaking, it does come easy to me. Not necessarily like good speaking, but I could speak. You know, I have ADHD. I'm not even focused. I could just go on rants. You know, like it's not hard for me. But producing quality work while learning how to edit, while learning how to just manage my time doing that, bro, that's the part I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of it. Like that's what I want to do. And so it's fun for me. And when I mean like I didn't want to switch it up is I'm gonna keep it the way you keep it. People know you because of all these things that you do, you know? And you're not turning it on and off. Though sometimes you might, because it has to be disciplined because you're putting content out at a certain time every single day. But at the same time, it's just who you are, you know? And that's why I want to follow you. That's why I want to be with you. That's why, because it's just you. It's just who you are, you know? There's just a camera rolling.
Yeah.
And so I will have those moments too. But I also want to just produce cool videos. Like, I just want to do that as well, you know, because I find that cool, you know, Tyler makes some cool videos, and I like that part about it as well, you know.
Kind of off topic, but I had this guy jump into the chat, and he said, "Which of the three are you?" And I was like, "Oh, the top right." And he was like, "I was hoping you were top left, which is Tyler." And he was like, "Yeah, he looks cool. He's got a cute little nose." What else did he say? He said, "An old man told me the only real thing you can sell is yourself. I found this to be true as I worked in sales for over 10 years. And that's my 2 cents. So you got a fan, Tyler?
That's solid.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. But
so what do you think selling yourself means?
Say it again?
What do you guys think selling yourself means?
Well, that's actually what I wanted to say. Alex, like you do it. You do it right now. It's why people respect so much in the community, and it's why you have so much business already. Just getting started with not the most expertise, not the most years of success behind you, or all these referrals left and right, but just your standing in the community is because of who you are. If you just are who you are, and it's amazing, you are intentional with everyone that you come across in making those connections and those relations, and even down to your quality of work in your other jobs have stood out so much to the people around you that they trust you, just by knowing who you are. And so I think when it comes to selling yourself, it's like you said, it's just being who you are, but there's a camera in front of you, You say that business is personal, right? And so if social media is just an aspect, an avenue of business, and your business is personal, then why not just bring all of it together, And you let your business be personal and bring it to social media,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking through right now. And it's in moments like this where it's just like just sitting down with homies and just being who you are and just speaking from the heart and letting people know like this is who I am all the time, And it's trustworthy and it's good. It introduces you and builds that rapport with a lot more people than just the people that you see at work every day. Just the people that you might interact with on your drive to work or things like that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that's the goal. Like that's really what I want to do, with that in mind, just making it about the people, and I just love people, I really, really do. I honestly forgot that this thing was live. Like I just was back to just us, and yeah, we're not here to turn it on, turn it off. Dude, I turned on the switch like 4 years ago and I just broke it, and that's just it, that's where I want to be, that's where I am. And we have to trust our work, whether it's on social media, whether it's in person. You trust your work and the work you're putting in, bro, business is going to come. It just happens. Business happens. You do the work and the work will take care of you one way or another, dude. There's been billionaires before there's been social media. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The work is going to take care of you, and now we just have unlimited resources, and we have each other. And I just want to let you guys know, don't ever forget to have those relationships within our household, because that's what we have right now is our household, that's our immediate family that we have right now. And so often we're worried about the time that we have on social media or the amount of things we have to post, and we're not counting the times of our life, and the people around us and the ones who really matter. We're missing out. We're missing things. We're missing out on things when we're not with them or engaging or just being with the world. We're missing things, and they're also missing you. Like the best thing that family could have, is you. Now I'm sure you're probably like their best, but anyways, like they're missing you, and you give a lot of goodness to the world. You give a lot of goodness to the world. All you need is that one. You don't need the 3 takes and then the edits. You just need that one take. It's just the consistent flow of truthfulness and goodness that flows out of you guys. So your parents and your friends and everyone, we miss you guys, and we just need you there in person even more. And so I just challenge you guys, take on a few personal relationships, strengthen them. Our social media ones should not be stronger than our face-to-face ones, unless you're not able to. I hear you. Unless you're not able to, you're not able to.
I think I've found balance in both. I find both to be just as important, just because that's the era we live in. So it's like, it's like I stay up to date. I stay posting content, but at the same time, like I know when to flip the switch off. It's like I spend time with my family every day. So it's like I can have this conversation, and it's not like I'm sitting there on my phone the whole time, or it's not like I'm like waiting to record something. Like I'm engaged, and if and when the time comes, like I feel like recording something, it's like, like phone goes up. But at the same time, it's like finding that balance to where it's like and that's what I'm saying. It's like this era we live in now, it's like we're not just a physical persona. We're a digital persona too. And both are just as important, because your brand is what you display online. So it's like, and it goes to the community thing. And you keep saying we're community is just the people you go, like just the people in like your immediate circle. But community is also the people in like who follow you. They, like you said, they're the people who follow you for a reason.
Let me ask you this. Do you really think that digital person, you display who you are, or you only display the good things?
Dude, all right, this is an amazing freaking phenomenon I came across probably a year or two ago, where I kept posting the drama I had when I would fight with my professors. Tyler, you remember that?
Yes.
All right, for sure.
Oh, heck yeah.
So for a moment, like it's not like I was focused on posting that content, but the people loved it. Like the people I need to know what happened, and I kept posting all the drama that kept going on with the professor, just because I felt like sharing, that's what was going on. And it got to the point where I shared it enough to where people just associated me with being the guy that beefs with professors. And I found that extremely interesting. I was like, wait. I'm not that. I'm just sharing it. But it was just the brand and the way I marketed myself. People just had the assumption it was how's your fight going with your professors? Like, dude, you ask me about anything else. I don't care.
Elementary school, bro.
But it clicked for me, and to some extent, I was like, dude, I can hack people into thinking whatever I want them to think. So, and it's not that I'm only posting the best of myself, but it really is the way I live my life. You guys know what I'm about. So I just take those moments out of my day to post it. And even on my bad days, I don't know if Tyler could back me up on this, but even on my bad days, I'll share it. The day I messed up my back, I had a whole spiel where I sat on my bed. It's like, guys, I messed up my back. I feel like crap, but I feel good. It's like I still even through these circumstances, even though I feel even physically I'm in this state, life's good. I'm happy to be starting school, blah blah blah. But it also, and that's what I'm getting to, is that it gives me an opportunity to be real with my community. I'm a beast in the gym, but even if life knocks me down, even if I get this back pain, even if I get this injury, life's still good. Life goes on. And that's what I'm getting to about community. It's who knows who needed to hear that message. And because I've been there a number of times, I'm accident prone. So in the past, when I have been through accidents, it's always it always messed with me heavy. So who knew who was watching my story, who's going through something? It's damn, life really is good. There is upside. It's a crappy situation, but what am I going to do? Am I really going to make that situation determine who I am or move forward? And yeah, I share everything, and it's I share who I am, essentially. That's what social media comes down to.
Do you ever find yourself sharing before you process it?
Yes. Yeah. And it takes work, but like we've been saying, it's it's weird, bro. There's overlap, and it's a learning process, you know, because like sometimes I share things where I know I shouldn't have shared it or say something, and I delete it. I'm like, crap, like that was wrong, you know, I shouldn't have done that. But but just as in person, like you say things in person, we're like, damn, I learned that, and I'm not going to do that again. But you don't learn how to make these mistakes on social media unless you don't make them, you know. So it's like you have to take that initiative. Sometimes you're pushing the what's it called, you push it too far, but you learn at the same time. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. Yeah. And then you stay within your boundaries, but you don't learn how to develop your social persona if you're not developing your social persona, you know. But yeah, it's work, and I feel like over the years I definitely have gotten better to it, and like better at it, and I do it with the purpose. Back to the whole thing where it's like you're either a producer or a consumer, and most of my time spent on Instagram, I really am producing. I want to say I'm like 80-90% like production. Like I hop on, film my video, post it, and back on to like what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, dude, I completely hear you, man. Yeah. You're open about that, about how you do sometimes post without thinking.
I can attest that
it's like beautiful, like that you're willing to learn from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can definitely attest that like Mateo has a great balance with the personal life and the social media aspect of his life too. And that's the ideal goal. But like you said, Mateo, like you know when to turn that switch off.
Yeah.
You know not to be sitting with your family that you spend time with every day, and to be on your phone checking up on who's responding, who's saying this, like how many views do I have, how many likes do I have. Like so many people don't know how to do that, and that's where social media kind of leaves a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah.
You know, like even sometimes I don't know how to do that. Sometimes I don't really want to be with the people that I'm with, and I just default to getting on social media. And like Alex said, it's just distractions, man. It's just to fill that space, and that, like, you know, you can find a comfort zone in that so easily. And so that's what is a real big struggle. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to be able to turn that switch off and not like misstep with social media. Find your identity in it. Find your whole community in it. You know, disregard the people that are immediately in your life, because all that matters to you is the people that are on your social media life.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many times when like I was in college and I'd come home and my parents would say like, well, what have you been up to? And I'd be like, well, you know, you guys saw, I posted I was over here on Instagram, and then I posted that I went to Yosemite or whatever on Instagram. And they were like, what? No, we didn't see that. And they had no idea. And I'm over here assuming that the people in my family all know what's going on in my life, mm-hmm. just because I posted on social media, as though like that's my priority. And that's when I had to shift my perspective of, okay, like social media was very, very important to me for a long time. And I had to kind of step away from that because it was becoming too important, to the point where I was using that instead of just face-to-face interactions. And so it requires to find that balance, is all I'm saying, you know? And I feel like Mateo has reached what is ideal with giving like 100% to being present with the people that are immediately in your community, in your family, and like the people you see every day, but also giving as much as you can 100% to the social media like community as well, because those people really love you. Just because somebody isn't in your city doesn't mean that they're not still part of your community. Like I still have friends in San Diego. My brother lives in San Diego with my sister-in-law. My other brother lives in La Habra Heights right now with his sister-in-law, with a baby on the way, and I love them to death. You know, like they're absolutely my community, even though I can't see them every day. Am I gonna just like disregard them? You know, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. And so our social media is like super, super important. There are so many benefits to it, and especially in business, like Mateo was saying, your social media persona is like its own narrative, you know, and you can build up a lot of reputation. You can build up a lot of trust from your social media, and you can even portray whatever you want to, and you can be as real as you want. And I think some people take too much liberty with being as fake as they want, you know, but. Dude, you gotta just start doing it to find that balance.
I've thought about playing with that idea too.
Just go ahead.
Just quick side note. It's like I've thought about faking it, not out of like the need to like like impress people, but I just think it's such a funny satire because I got a green screen set up, so I could literally green screen myself as to like walking on like a private jet or something. Like I could do that, and honestly, people would believe me, which I think would be so funny.
That would be hilarious. And that's entertaining. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. That's the point of entertainment. So, I mean, what I was thinking was like I could fake my Instagram post and make it seem like I'm some Dan Bilzerian type thing, but everyone in the stories would be in the loop. It's like, all right, guys, today I'm gonna fake this, watch this, whatever, blah blah blah. You know, but it would be a satire. But yeah, dude, people do, and I'm very picky about the people I travel with. Because I've had like some type of experience, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I found that in today's day and age, most people travel with the intention of flexing on Instagram. Like people go, and if they don't get the perfect picture, their day was ruined. You know, it's like damn, like we didn't get the perfect picture at the right time. Like, oh, I can't believe that. And that's what they were set on, was just flexing the fact that they were out traveling rather than like being present, you know?
Right, and it may come down to like their priority. Like they're prioritizing their social platform life more than their actual life, like their experience.
Exactly.
The character they're portraying to be, they want that character to always be on, like the best adventures, happy, like posting the best things, because that's the life they hope to show the world. And it could be pretty toxic to do something like that, you know, to hyper focus on that life instead of your own life. It could be, I could only imagine, you know, it's draining. It's a 24/7 job, and it's tough, you know, and sometimes it gets us out of touch with reality and the things that we need to do, you know, and like our expressions and our emotions, and, you know, we forget, you know. It's like, if you ask yourself how many times you've interacted with random people, you know, I wonder what that number would be. How many times did you reach out to me or to Tyler, you know? And if it's much less, is it because the life on social platforms is more important, or did we just forget to reach out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just finding the balance, you know. And I think, like Tyler said, like you're there, and if not, you're getting there, and you're just getting better and better every time.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, I wanna touch on that note that you touched on the whole like whether I touch base with random people or like actual people, but. And I guess it's something I'm working through, like as of right now or something like time in my life. But I had this switch as of like a year or so ago, where I felt like I was always the one reaching out. Like I was always the one being on that side of the spectrum. So in a sense, I kind of did an experiment. Huh? Dude, no, dude. Oh, let me get to my point. But I always felt like I was on the side of the spectrum, and like it was rare to have people like hit me up, you know. So it's like I wanted to see who my true friends were, you know. So it's like that's why I like you, because you reached out. I used to be that person who would reach out, and the reason I don't reach out is because I know you're a busy dude. But I'm always there. Like, when have I not answered you, Alex? You know, it's like whenever you do hit me up, it's like
Yeah.
No, because I'm guilty of it. Because every time you have text me, I'm like, damn, this guy got to me before I got to him. You know, and it's not like in a competition manner, but I was like, and it's not that I didn't forget about you, but at the same time, it's like, I should have reached out. I know I should have. And it's not, the reason I don't reach out to you is because I know I don't need to reach out to you. You got your bases on lock. You know how I speak highly of you, you know?
But okay, let's flip it. How do you know the people you're posting for on Instagram needed you?
I see what they post. You know, I see that I've talked to them in person. I know what they're like. I know them.
The reality is like to know if they really need to know what you're saying that morning. The reality is you don't know.
No, because I get feedback. People will comment. People will be like, I needed this today. My 3 a.m. post, bro. Like, I can't tell you how many people like be like, dude, where was that 3 a.m. post this morning? I was like, damn, you know?
And that's what I'm saying. You didn't know that they needed that. They just happened to respond saying they needed that. You'll never know if I needed you And if you didn't give me that opportunity to respond to your message.
Alex, you don't
You know?
need me. Like that's the confidence. And dude, trust me. And I'm not saying this to bash you. I will hit you up every day, Alex. I will call you every day if you need me.
You need to. No, look, because hear me out. You don't need me either, bro.
No, yeah, I guess.
Dude, you don't need me.
Yeah,
Like, the way you do something is the way you do everything, and I'm a producer.
yeah,
So I'm never going to wait for you to text me.
yeah,
I'm out here trying to produce goodness 24/7, whether it's just a hello, whether it's producing a friendship and building a friendship. I'm a producer.
yeah,
And I will never, I can't say that. I will try my best to never turn that switch to where I have to sit back because no one hits me up.
yeah.
I'm consuming their energy waiting for them to hit me up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a producer, bro. I try to.
Well, look, I come from a different, point of view perspective. And I'm being vulnerable. I'll be open here, but like I've always been most people's number two. You know, so it's like I got so tired of that. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna allocate me. I'm the priority this time around, you know? So it's like, and it's not to say where I don't hit people up, but the people who I feel like, I've got projects going on, you know? So it's like, I'll hit them out. I go out of my way because to some business extent, but all that to say, Alex, you're right. I should have hit you up, you know? Like you're right. You put me on blast. I agree. You're right, dude. Like, and I don't know why I didn't, but it's just like life and different stuff, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I don't go out of my way to hit up the killers, bro. I have my list of killers. Like, I know you guys are so on point that you guys don't need it. So it's like, you know, but at the same time, like, I go out of my way to...
And it's needed. Like, I was telling Tyler, you know, I was telling Tyler the things that happened a few weeks ago, or like a while ago, but during that week, a lot of things happened. And Tyler said, dude, I just wish you could take a breath. And I told him, man, like, we were actually on our way to LA just for a drive. Tyler had no reason to go. He was just literally accompanying me to Los Angeles. And I explained to him that he is the breath that I needed. That relationship, bro, so needed, you know? Especially if we're strategic about it and we're really surrounding ourselves with good people. It's like the motivational video. I didn't need it. I have discipline. But is it good to hear and is it going to uplift me? Probably will. Did Tyler bring goodness to me on that road trip? Dude, a lot. So much good. Like, he gave me rest. Though we were on the busiest day. Though we were in 2 hours of traffic. He gave me rest simply because of his goodness. He produced goodness and shared it with me that morning, you know? And so even if I'm sending out a text, I just hope it does something for them, and I'm here to not consume them because, like, yeah, because we're just not that. You know what I mean? We're just not that. And if I care about other people every single day, I hope to care about people every day of my life. You know, because to me, that's just a fulfilled life. Is serving and providing service to others, and that's me being real. You know, that's why I text you.
Yeah.
Or I text Tyler. Mm-hmm. Text anyone, because you're right, bro. I get so much more done by myself. You know, and sometimes I am by myself.
Yeah.
But a quick text is
no. But look, the way I go about reaching out, and I'll show you, dude. Like I have my list of killers, and I don't touch bases with them because again, dude, it's just like I know you don't need it, but I also have a different set of lists where it's like, all right, these are the people going through it, and I know they're going through it because they've told me their problem. You know, so it's like I've had like I can't, and I know you know this, but the amount of people that come up to ask you for advice, the amount of people that come up to ask you for just like pointers, want your opinion. You know, like I know you get those people, and I get them too. And it's like I know what these people are going through, so periodically I'm like, dang, all right, I'm gonna check up on all these people to make sure they're doing all right, because I know that they struggle, and to some extent they look up to me and want my help. You know, so it's like I'll go out of my way to check up on them. Kids, bro, I've met a number of kids at the gym, and it's like I wish I had that big brother or some older figure checking up on me. So every now and then I'll just mess with the kids. Like, hey, what's good with you? Like, how you doing? Like, how those gains coming in, whatever, you know? So it's like, I'll check up on the kids, but it goes back to the community thing. You know, it's like, I feel like those are the people where I should be allocating my time. And it's not a diss, bro. Like, I love you to death and you know this, you know, but it's just like, I to some extent, it's like, these are the people I need to build up. And that's where I focus my energy towards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you're on the money, you know what I mean? And I'm not ever saying like, oh, I have enough energy to do that. No, but I guess that because you're right. So many people ask for advice. I don't want to be their safe haven, bro. I want either Christ to be their safe haven or their life to be a safe haven. And the way that happens is by turning them into producers as well. If you look up things to do for mental health and to help you with like just, you know, anxiety or depression or things like that, some of the things that are always like in the top few bulletins, it's do something good for others, for someone else. Do something good for someone else. And so not to be a jerk or anything, but I don't want them to think I'm a counselor and I'm here to fix them. I want them to be self-sufficient and thinking of others, because so often we just sit and think about ourselves, you know? And I'm here to listen. I listen all the time and I still give advice and I'll still continue to. I love people. But at some point, the person I'm helping becomes a leader. Whether it's a leader of millions or whether it's a leader of just himself. That to me is the difference maker. Because now we're not only opening the doors to our arms and hearts and we're loving these people, but we're turning them back and now they're doing the same for others.
But that still takes time. That's not like a flip of a switch. Like, you definitely have to invest in these people to be able to like do that, you know?
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right, you know? And but again, it goes back to like whether you have a list of people who need the help or don't, you know? It just keeps in mind like, man, I could probably count on Alex no matter what. No matter if I talk to him for years or no matter if I don't talk to him. So this guy's just always reaching out and just like looking out for me. And so oftentimes I forget to look out for myself. And so when Alex is looking out for me, because I've been so busy looking out for everyone else, and that was kind of him. You know?
Yeah.
Like that was kind of him. Like you have a list of people.
It's not a literal list, but I got like, dude, it's just like, dude, and I want you to take this as like
it's not a list per se.
No, it is a list. It is a list of people. It's few that make it, but like it's like, dude, you're on my killers list. Like, if there's anything that means anything, it's like, dude, like I recognize you. It's like, okay, this guy does it. He knows what it is, you know, like he's up there, and it's just like. The way I view the killers list is the killers list is responsible for their own domain. You're your own king of your own kingdom. And like, I know you got yours set, you know? So it's like, and I know I have your back just as much as you have my back, you know? Like, that's the trust I have in you. And that's what makes you one of the killers, you know? And
yeah. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it too. Because they haven't reached out to me in a while, so I must be killer too.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you. And what is your? You don't have to share it, but what is your reasoning for that list?
It's the way I process things. It's just the way my brain works. Yeah, I'm really detail and oriented. That's just who I am, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and I don't know. I mean, like, it really is open to anyone, but it's just like. By association, I'm like, dude, killer. You know,
what?
It's your system.
It's my system. I don't know.
Makes sense to you.
There's no reason why.
You have like a system of like, these are my friends, and these are my friends that are doing well. These are my friends that are blah blah blah. These are my friends that are this, or these are my friends that I go to. Is that what you mean, or what do you mean? Like,
it's not that detailed. It really just comes down to like killers and the people who struggle. And the people who struggle, it's just like depression or just random mental health type shit, you know? But again, it's not some literal list, but in to some extent in my brain, it just helps me by association. It's like, oh, he's a killer, you know? And it's not like I put these people in like a box where it's like, oh, that guy's depressed or whatever, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, bro. It's just my brain, just how my brain works. And it's not just people, bro. Like I do it with everything, you know? I'm like hyper organized and yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's like, thank you for sharing that. Seriously. That is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, I was gonna ask something, I forgot.
Homies, I gotta go. I hate to say it.
No,
Yeah.
perfect timing, bro. Alex kept talking. He was like, I need to be off at 9:30 sharp.
You know what I'm saying? Follow me on social media, bro. Nothing's getting done around here.
But something is getting done. Producing.
No, we produce, bro. This is live on YouTube now. So like, if I'll send you the link, but everything we talked about is all on record. This hour and 20 minutes, all on record. We've produced.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a beautiful thing, and I really appreciate you guys for inviting me into like such a world. You know, I really didn't know this existed. I don't know what Twitch is. I don't know. I barely found out who Tom Hanks was. So just, I appreciate you guys for giving me a break. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I really do, because I just love you guys. You know, and I just grateful for you guys, seriously, because yeah, I have a lot to learn, and I'm grateful that you guys get to teach me a bunch, and just stoked, you know? Like, we did it. Like, we did it. We said we were going to do this, and we did it, and that's already step one. And to top it off, we're hanging out. We're hanging out at 10 p.m., and we're just stoked on whatever is to come. I'm just grateful. Seriously, thank you guys.
Agreed, man. Yeah, this was dope. This is super cool. It was a lot more fun than what I actually expected. It was fun.
Yeah, let's go.
What were you expecting?
I don't know what to expect. Well, no. Because Alex, when we were leaving yesterday, he's like,
that's why I don't text him. Yeah.
Alex was like, you gotta.
Killer's list is like bored AF.
Fun people, funny people.
That's on there?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
No.
All right, guys. I also need to go to sleep. But yeah, good chatting. I'll chop this up and I will shoot you guys good content.
All right, yeah, man. Thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate you doing this, and I appreciate you, Tyler, and thank you guys for just being so cool.
For sure.
Love you guys, man.
Yeah,
This
love
is
you guys
fun.
too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You guys take care, okay?
All right, for sure, we'll do.
Thank you.
Later.